Hello, research and technology tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play less UFO missions and more building new guns with me, BlueAnkylo. We've got tons of research on the way, and I'm pretty excited about that, and we have a fair amount of new gear to build. Sadly, we did not catch the size and engineer that we needed, so there's no armor yet, but maybe next wave. There's always next time. So let's see how this goes, see if we get a couple days to build stuff. At the very least, we'll have the Pulse minigun. Things do take a fair bit longer to build as we sort of work our way up the tech tree. It takes a long time, that's why I have more engineers now. Also, who doesn't like new guns? Pulse Pistol Mark II. It's better than Mark I. We do not unlock the Mark III. Let's see what the carbine looks like. And we can have a quick look at the Pulse pistol. Seeing as we're not going to upgrade it to Mark II yet, or Mark III yet. Still not alone. So good. So, this is a very accurate pistol that takes very little time units to fire. 13% for a 60 accurate shot is pretty darn good. I don't think it's as good as the antimatter because it doesn't ignore armor. But the accuracy is comparable. It uses a few less time units to shoot, but with low damage weapons, ignoring armor is really nice. So you know, it's not bad or anything. The problem, of course, is how many antimatter cores do you have? Can you even build an antimatter pistol? So, given that you might not even have that as an option, Pulse Pistol's good. It might be one of the better pistols. Even if it's not as good as antimatter. Heavy Stun Rocket. Tier 3. We're going to build a couple of these in every base. Help us capture an engineer, maybe, if we're lucky. We'll get the rest of the Pulse Tech going while we're doing all the guns. I think I tried to leave 2 alien grenades in each base for rockets, just so we have a few. You know, 7 plus 2, I can do that kind of math. Oh, what? BlueAnkylo is evolving? There it is. I am now an Ankylo of many colors. Where I was once BlueAnkylo, I am now Rainbow Ankylo. At least as far as the live chat is concerned. Told you I had something planned. It's gonna take you a while to get to 100,000 points, Hades. Better start saving them Ankylo points. Don't spend them all in one place. Alright, speaking of purple ships, the supply ship gives us a ton of resources. It's very good. It's one of the better missions for UFO parts, generally. It actually doesn't give us as much heavy as I was expecting. Maybe it's not as good as I was thinking. Lots of advanced control, though. We could learn about sonic thrusters, which will probably be very similar to the Tier 2 long-distance weapon that I never built. It's very similar to something I completely ignored. Pulse Heavy Mark II? No Mark III. Aircraft pulse cannon. We'll compare that to the Gauss cannon before we start building one or the other. I guess we should look at the heavy. I'm generally not a fan of the heavy tier, but let's see. What does this thing do? One shot. It's kind of like a shotgun. It's a heavy weapon shotgun? That's kind of neat. I could see some uses for that. 35% TU, So you could put that in a power armor, and you could walk pretty far and do 70 damage times 4 from behind somebody, so you could avoid a Sizen shield. Now, they do have some energy protection, but all the 4 hits would hit at the same time before they turn. So you wouldn't have to break their shield, theoretically. That's kind of... That might be worth it. That might give us a nice alternative. Oh, it's the dirge. Don't worry, there won't be too many more You're Not Alones if you're really not a fan. Yeah, I might want to build some of those. How expensive are they going to be? I generally don't like the heavy tier, like the machine gun style, but it's not a machine gun. It's like a heavy shotgun, which sounds kind of cool. As long as it doesn't cost like 20 energy cores. Oh, 4 is cheap. We can totally queue up a couple of those. At this point, 4 is pretty cheap. It's the minigun that's really expensive. It's like the modders knew the miniguns were the best weapon. Alright, cool. New guns. And then we begin the Mark III upgrades. Tasty. Oh, speaking of which. Yeah, this stuff gets real good real fast. You can take those ones to the bank for sure. We could shoot Sonic at our enemies. I'm kind of curious how shooting Sonic works. Not too many more Mark III weapons available, unfortunately. So, how good is this Pulse Mark III? 50 shots times 2. That's 100 shots compared to 80. And it's 3 more damage per shot. So this thing has a massive damage potential of 2,000. 50 times 2 times 20. Easy. At point blank range, they will all hit. They will have to chew through the armor, but 2,000 damage is a tremendous amount of damage. Plus, you can fire it 12 times, which is really nice. It's fairly heavy. The weight went up to 18, so it's not the lightest, but it does have a lot of ammo, so you don't need a ton of backup reloads. I think we want at least 1 per team. And then this is also really, really good. So the thing about Pulse is the low TU cost, and we already talked about the Precision Mark II, a couple episodes ago, last live stream. 28 range, 100 damage, ignores a good amount of armor. 20, 155. 32, 120, 70. So that's a pretty big damage upgrade and range upgrade. Plus 4 range, plus 20 damage, and plus 20 armor reduction. So it's 40 more damage, sort of, depending on what you're shooting. But look at those fire modes. The cheapest shot is now 28%. Which means if you're in wolf armor with the minus time unit cost, and you're already facing the right direction, you can fire the sniper 4 times at 32 range with a pretty darn accurate shot. Or you can fire it 2 times with an accurate shot. Or you might be able to get 55% TU down to 50% and fire 2 extremely accurate shots. So even though the damage is not as impressive as plasma per shot, it's much easier to take a lot of shots quickly. And I do like the 220 damage, don't get me wrong, but the 23 range is not always enough. We've definitely had some bad long-range shots, and I need my snipers to hit, and this is going to help us hit more often. Also, 30 ammo keeps you going for a long time with no reloads, so I think this is definitely an upgrade, no doubt about it. So we're in the works of building all this stuff. keeping in mind that we do burn through a ton of energy cores for these pulse miniguns. I might want to build 2 eventually, but that's 48 energy cores, so that's not... We're going to save that for after we build every... We're going to build 1 right now, and then we're going to try to build all the other guns before we build a second minigun, just because they're so expensive. Your hand is on fire? Why is your hand on fire? Do I want to know? Let's get these grenades and rockets first, because they're quick. Wrong base. Still the wrong base. There's the right base. Alright, let's get this Mark III minigun. And after that, we'll queue up the 2 Precisions Mark III. Just queuing these up ahead of time, but hopefully we have enough energy cores to make it through all the stuff I want to build. Oh, just making food with... Oh, spicy peppers. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you gotta wash your hands pretty thoroughly if you're using... You're getting too covered up in that capation oil or whatever. Okay, pulse carbine. I'm not sure if this is going to be the best weapon, but hey, it's got to upgrade to Mark III. Let's just have a quick look at it. Nothing too in-depth. I haven't used the carbines a lot in general, so... Pulse carbine is... this one? Yeah, so kind of the... Oh, but it's so cheap to fire. How much was the laser carbine? The last carbine we had was a laser one. This guy cost 18 time units to do 20 shots, essentially. 5 bursts of 4 shots at 11. This is 18 as well, for 4 bursts of 4 at 19 each. I still don't think it's very amazing. Like, maybe we'll build 1 or 2, but... it still can only fire the full volley twice. I don't know. That's not enough for me to be super impressed. Which is why I didn't build it first, you know. Gotta get these miniguns out. It takes an entire day with 60 engineers to upgrade a minigun. It's one of the slowest weapons to build at this point, I think. But we'll get our Mark III pulse pretty quick. Okay, here's something to talk about a little bit. Pulse cannon. So it's a tier 3 aircraft weapon. We've got 2 right now, the Gauss cannon, and the pulse cannon. The pulse cannon has a very narrow firing arc, which generally isn't good for my air game. It's really difficult to get a lot of shots at such a narrow arc. It might do more damage in total. We're looking at around 800, maybe nearly 900 damage, compared to probably less than that. This is like 800 or so. The DPS is 300 at 42 versus 15 at 600. So this is a 30 DPS weapon. Like, you know, DP 300. So this does do more damage per second. Like, it does more damage over time. It probably does more damage total, but it's going to be a lot harder to aim. And that means it's also a little bit more expensive in terms of alloys. I think I like the Gauss cannon better. I like the fast rate of fire, but we'll have a look at some of the alternative weapons before we decide what we want to build everywhere. The sonic cannon was probably the upgrade to the sonar. He's only sonic. He's only sonar, and then he upgrades to sonic. This baby Sonic was a sonar. But we'll compare tier 3 to tier 3. Was that I didn't really want... Wow. We're going to run out of things to research pretty quick. I was going to say, I didn't really need 20 or 40 engineers on that. I don't know if I can handle this prelude right now. Oh no, we didn't get to finish our miniguns! Oh no, another wave. This is like 2 days and we got another wave. Oh. Well, it might have an engineer. Andron cruiser. Ew. Interceptors. Another bomber carrier with Androns. So we really need to capture some specialists. Hopefully a weapon sergeant or an engineer from this one civilian mission. The first one we can do. Alright, let's figure this out. First off, Corsairs to kill the Interceptors. We have a bomber carrier ×2. The best plan I've had so far was the Lotuses. In fact, they're the only thing that can shoot them down. And I need to remember to attack them from the back. Uh-oh. Well, we have some backups a little bit further away. This is very important, but also not too difficult to shoot down, I don't think. We do have a couple Lotuses just to be safe. Just in case it has missile tech, and then we'll know for next time. And in case the Interceptors go this way, let's get some Corsairs up here as well. And then someone will have to destroy that. A cruiser has been traditionally pretty easy to shoot down. We could use the Lotuses though, but we've got these Lotuses, we might as well use them. But I think the Foxtrots would be okay if we needed to. Okay, so the Interceptors went to Greenland, so we can use our Interceptors to try to shoot down a scout. These guys are kind of hard to shoot down though. It's kind of weird. Alright. This is technically the third wave of UFOs, so this is like, we're going to do these ones manually, but soon I'm going to be auto-resolving battles that we've already won a few times. Once you know I can win them safely, I'm not going to keep redoing them over and over again. Unless we have like new tech to show off, you know. Alright, remember, 2.5 times on the barrel roll. So we can barrel roll to about here. A little bit closer, a little bit closer. That's looking pretty good. Alright, boys. That's how you do it. Man, that was by the book. Who's next? Heavy Scout. Alright. So, I think this was the kind of guy that leaves the mini-mines. Yeah. So we're gonna have to do the alternative strategy of charge straight towards him. Because it's just impossible to get behind him with those mini-mines. We're actually out of his missile arc as well, which is nice. And then we just need to not run into the mini-mines. And technically we have to flee because they just stay there forever. They don't actually... The battle never ends because they're always flying around. But good shooting. So for the bomber carriers, you definitely want to be behind them. I mean, cruiser, anything that's larger than a cruiser, you want to be behind it, I think. We have researched our own hunters. So now we could theoretically repurpose the shot down hunters. So we didn't really find a very good interceptor for tier 3, seeing as this was our sort of interceptor style. And it was cannon heavy, which I didn't think was a great matchup. We could instead build hunters for our cannons, for our guys. They only get one cannon, but they could have a missile mount or something. And they're much more agile. Like, by significant margin. Very fast. They're about as fast as it gets for this tier. A little bit lower HP. I don't know. I really like having 2 cannons, though, on my interceptors. Animal Crossing and Dragon Quest XI on Switch, I say. I'm not really into Animal Crossing, but I am glad to see all the cool games showing up. It's been a pretty good year for video games, right? So, I just don't know how I get rid of having double cannons. Like, the DPS on this is really good. Any tier 3 interceptor is going to have only one. Unless there's like a missile or torpedo mount that works on intercepting. Which there might be, we just haven't unlocked it yet. You know, if there is a torpedo mount that can hit enemy fighters, then the Marauder might work. And if we can find a good missile-style weapon that works against fighters, then maybe. Like something that fires really quickly or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. To build them, though, of course, you will require Fallen Hunters plus all the Tier 3 materials. So it's a little bit difficult to build them like all the other Tier 3 jets. I believe this is our first strike missile corvette. I think. But it looks like we can stay behind it. It might have some, I actually kind of expect it to have some anti-missile tech, so it's probably going to shoot down a couple of our missiles. But it looks like it turns real slow. Oh, wow, yeah, it's pretty dead. It turns slow, and it doesn't have any anti-missile tech, so nice knowing ya. Cruiser, we've shot a couple of these down. I shouldn't need to cover too much on these guys. They do shoot down a torpedo, I think, right? Just the one. And then they die. Okay. You want a missile Mustang? No Corvettes allowed. And then Lotuses do real well against bomber carriers. Basically, this thing can't even hurt them as long as we're behind them. Yeah. I think you could probably preserve your torpedoes until you were in hyper missile range, because I think he does shoot down some of your incoming missiles. And it would be better for him to shoot down a hyper missile, 50 damage, than a torpedo for like 700 damage. Which I will try here. Some advanced strategy here. Strategy +1. Turn your torpedoes off. You still get a lock on. Once we're a little bit closer, we'll slow it down. Then we start firing a ton of torpedoes. He can shoot down 1 or 2 of them. Don't matter. But now, mixed in with the little guys are some big boys. And then we don't waste as many big boys. It doesn't make much difference, but I think if they had more HP, you might need to do something like that to shoot them down. Because if you wasted all your torpedoes and they didn't do any damage, you might not be able to kill them. So there is a couple little minor tweaks to the strategy. Anyway, that looks pretty good. What do we got? Grim's not allowed outside. Yeah, welcome to Quarantine 2020. Everybody's living it. Okay, large androns. Scout civilians. We definitely should do this because we're hoping for civilian doctor, engineer, weapon sergeant. Any of those would be really good. Definitely need to do this. Could be the same 3 specialists. Androns. maybe. Seisons, I need that Seison engineer too. We should do all 5 of them. How do we do all 5 of them and not go crazy is the real question. That's a lot of time. And I don't have all my guns built yet. We could skip the massive ones and just wait until we have some better gear for it. But we really do need to get the engineers to get the armor going. And if we don't get the armor, we're never going to feel a whole lot stronger. Like, the guns will help, but without a civilian weapon sergeant and engineer, which, to be fair, we might get from these civilian missions. Like, if we can get what I need from those, then I might not need to do the giant ones. I don't know. I don't know, man. Min-max wise, you should do them all. I'm definitely doing the civilian ones, 100%. We'll probably do those first. I think A team can get here and B team can get here before night. And then when morning comes, we'll figure out of the other 3 how many we want to do. And if we get the civilian weapon sergeants, I might skip 1 or 2 of these just because, well, 85 or 25, 23. That's not actually that bad, I guess. That's actually not as many aliens as I was expecting. 25, 33, 35. It sounds like a lot, but 35, I mean, could be a lot worse. What about this one? I can't even see, really. It's probably more likely I skip this one, because the Androns shouldn't give us any new technology at this point, I don't think. This is just for resources, but we're hoping to get a Seison engineer, so that at least gives me one hope. Oh no, wait! We need a bomber operator, so this could give us a bomber operator. That might give us some more data hacks. Yeah, that might be worth it. But this won't give us any tech, only resources. And this shouldn't give us any tech, but only resources. So those are kind of the lower priority, high priority, pretty high priority, but pretty big mission. And that'll be that. So what I'm going to do, future tubers, it's a short episode today because we're just focusing on this. And we did not get as much time to build up as I was hoping. You think A-Team can wait an hour and still make it here on time? It's only going to take them 2 hours to get there. It's going to be close, but I would love to have a pulse minigun for this mission. What about the other teams? B team is pretty much ready to pop, and C team is a couple hours away. C team's going to wait till the morning anyway, so maybe we... Yeah. I'm going to put a save down just in case I get real mad, but LP pulse miniguns? Maybe? I don't think there's enough time. Oh, it's so close. It's still not even finished. It's done any second now. It's a night... Maybe we could just do a night mission. It will definitely be a night mission. No. I wasn't... It said an hour. I thought... there's not enough time. I'm just... It'd be cool if there was an easier way to guarantee how long it took to finish your thing, but it took more time than I thought it would take. So, okay. We're gonna end the episode here. The B team will get a pulse minigun. Thumbs up for them. The A team is just going to do a not pulse minigun daytime mission. I think it's smarter to do a daytime mission with no pulse minigun than to do a nighttime mission with a pulse minigun. It's not going to make that much difference, even though I want to show it off. The B team can show it off, so that'll be fine. Alright, future tubers, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you next time for some more missions. I kind of wish the aliens would give us a few days to research, but at least they gave us some lizards, so we've got stuff to capture. See you next time.